Okay, I was like, oh god. Oh, it's a puzzle. Alright, we gotta move all the things into various places. What's this? Oh, okay, it's raising us up. Up here? Okay, we gotta fill these things. I imagine this goes here? Looks like there's another one past those two. Wait, what? I'm back? Did my stream cut out? Oh, that was weird. I didn't notice anything. About how long was that? How long was that? Was it long? Minute 30? Okay, not too long then. Okay, that was weird. I have no idea what happened. Alright. I'll have to keep an eye on that. Alright, got a shield character, nothing to worry about.
Gotcha. Shine down.
Suck it. Ooh, potato. Can I grab this mushroom? No? Unfortunate. Alright, grab that flamey thing. Oh. Okay, the water level dropped.
The water's gone down. Hey, look! Is that another way through?
Okay, the question remains though, what about this? What do I do here? Do I attack? Looks like I can't push it. Seems like I have to move these somehow. Yeah, looks like these can move. Nothing in this pit. Was I supposed to move them before? More puzzles. Wait, which sword do I have? Okay, this one. Alright, looks like I gotta light up these lanterns.
The night is cold.
Nope, not that one.
Busted.
Alright, here's one of the flames. Get that back to this.
Take it easy.
Wait, is there anything in here? Oh, just a chest. Cannot be moved from this side?
Quietly now.
My guiding stars. Rest and rebuild. Everyone hold hands.
Illusion shattered.
Alright, there's the flame. Oh. Ah, okay, so we move that. Alright, there's the last lantern thing. Okay, nice dive, but Raiden, now's not the time for swimming. Why can I not climb up that? Oh, okay, now this one is lowering. Ah, okay, so you need to do that first. And that goes back up.
The water's flowed into the groove, and now the statues have lit up. Okay, now we should be able to move the statues.
Ooh, nice dive. Okay, it kind of seems obvious you need to push that one there. The water seems so shallow. I know. Okay, so push this here, and push that there. Then I cycle these ones.
The door is open. Let's go.
We should be nearly at the bottom now. Let's wrap this up.
Of course.
Not now. Hold. Line to command.
Things are about to get dicey. Inazuma shines eternal!
Suck it. Just burst it the hell down. put up a shield, and then burst, burst, burst. Ah, small path. Oh. Alright, let's hide here.
I can tell from the aroma that this is very fine liquor indeed. I'm impressed. Come on, bottoms up. After you, of course.
Wait.
Sorry, that went down the wrong way. I've never drunk anything this strong before. It'll take me some getting used to.
Shots.
You'll get there. If you want to stay friends with us, you have to drink with us.
I'll do my best.
You're more of a lightweight than I thought. Already struggling after one glass? I thought you were made of sterner stuff. You certainly kept it together when you were poisoning your teacher's soup.
Oh. Oh. So that's why Uncle Tian wasn't actually having any health issues. This guy was poisoning his soup. Yo, that's a dick move.
Come on, another round. Less talking, more drinking.
Sure. You didn't leave me much of a choice, though, did you? Just the mention of poisoning sends shivers down my spine. I'm more timid than you realize. Every time I poisoned him, I had to hide away at home for a few days because I was so scared of getting caught.
Look, I know it has not been easy for you, my friend. We appreciate all your hard work. But, I have to say, you really are quite a genius at poisoning people. I mean, the poison we brought from Snezhnaya is as strong as this wine, but you found a way to turn it into an imperceptible, slow-acting poison, and came up with the idea of delivering it through fish soup. What was it you said? Oh, yeah. You said the soup's fishy flavor neutralizes the pungency of the poison, and this process even makes the soup tastier as a result. How did you think of that?
It struck me one day when I was fishing. I'm lucky it did. Otherwise, I'm not sure I would have been able to fool Uncle Tien.
You have performed excellently. The Fatui will continue to provide the support you need to consolidate your position as Tian Shu. Of course, this is as long as you continue to do as we instruct. Aside from Qingshu Pool, we also have some other requests for you, which we will inform you of in due course.
Don't worry. Whatever tasks you have for me, I will perform them diligently.
Did you hear that? It was poison! That's why Uncle Tian hasn't been feeling well recently. It's all Jurye's doing.
Could you whisper more quietly?
What a nasty guy! Seize him!
Talk about revealing your villain plan for no reason.
Hold on. Did you bring a camera? If not, you can use mine. This is quite a scene. We have to capture it for posterity.
Pixar, it didn't happen.
Excellent liquor. We've, seen no progress on the diplomatic front, and everyone has been eyeing up the treasure of Qingshu Pool. It's been a real headache for me. But soon, everything will be taken care of, and I can report back on a successful mission. Thank you, Jurye. I remember when I first saw you. I knew right away that you would make a good partner for us. Hey, do you still remember what I said to you?
How could I forget? You said a lowly commoner like me could never be seen as a serious candidate for the Tianshu, no matter how hard I work. The only way is for you to shine bright in the Tianshu's darkest moment. I think you were absolutely right.
Yes, under normal circumstances, the gap between you and other people could only ever grow wider over time. Just look at your two competitors. Chen Wei had wealth. Ming Boa had reputation. But you had nothing. You were just another nobody. And that's why I decided to help you. You know, there's an old saying in the Fatui. Give a starving dog a bone, and it'll guard your home for the rest of its life.
Yes. I cannot thank you enough for your generous support.
You know, the best thing about you is that you do as you're told without complaining. Hey, keep up the good work, and I can assure you, you'll never have to worry about Mora again. Heck, when you're not in the company of the Fatui, you'll be able to throw your weight around as much as you want. How about that?
Uncle Gao said that Jur-E has low self-esteem. Seems he was right. He was worried that whatever advantage he might have now will diminish over time, so the Fatui persuaded him that he should act while he can.
I see.
Do you have any more film in the camera?
Plenty.
Then get ready to use it. Tonight's grand finale should be coming up any minute now. How well this goes for us depends on how Jur-E plays his hand.
Ooh, is there any more alcohol? Go on. Fill me up. I'm in a good mood today, and I'm gonna drink my fill. Make sure to get me home safely afterward.
There's only a little left. Here, I'll fill your glass. If you like it, I can bring you some more next time.
Whoa, this is the good stuff. It is great.
Damn, this fool is drunk off his ass.
Huh? What the?
Oh, he got poisoned too.
Jur-E, you...
Yep, you were
you
right.
poisoned my wine? But when?
The drink is poisoned. You were right. Yep. He was
You
poisoned.
seem surprised, Mr. Yusupov.
You... How could you?
How could I not? I've sacrificed years of my life studying and reflecting to prepare myself for this position. And in the end, I even had to poison my own teacher. You really think I'd put myself through all that just to become your little puppet? I don't want to bow down to anyone ever again. And that includes you.
You imbecile. It's the Fatui who got you to where you are. Do you understand? If I disappear with no explanation, the embassy will come after you. They'll get to the bottom of this. Mark my words.
Do you see the haystack in the corner? Underneath it is a pile of explosives. And next door in the dark room are the 3 undercover agents you sent to infiltrate the Black Cliff Forge. I'm gonna stay here till I see you slip into unconsciousness. Then I'm gonna set this on fire. Once the flames burn through the hay, they'll ignite the explosives, the ruins will collapse, and everything will be buried.
What do you hope to?
I took the liberty of leaving some evidence of your contact with the undercover agents at the Black Cliff Forge. It won't take long for people to join the dots. 2 missing person cases will become one as the truth gradually reveals itself. The Fatui planted undercover agents in the Black Cliff Forge to steal their signature ruin-grade explosives. Their plan was to blow through the solid floor tiles in the dead of night and seize the treasure of Qingshu Pool. But things didn't quite go to plan. Mistakes were made that led to the accidental deaths of the entire crew.
Damn. I was not expecting Ji to be secretly villain.
Faced with the overwhelming evidence, the embassy won't investigate this any further. In fact, they'll be only too happy to blame it all on a rogue operation by you. It explains why you acted alone, while exonerating the rest of the embassy of any liability. Of course, none of that will have anything to do with me. When all of this comes to my attention, I'm afraid I'll have no choice but to cancel the Qingshu Pool redevelopment plan immediately. I guess then, I'll be Tianshu in my own right, with a clean record and well out of the Fatui's reach.
He really thought this out, the evil villain.
Jerry, do you really think you're gonna get away with this? The Fatui has a record of everything. That includes the poison, all interactions between us, even my trip here tonight. After I die, they'll come looking, and they'll get to the bottom of this.
Literally, why are villains always monologuing? Like, I know why from a writing point, but from a character point, literally shut up. I don't know either. It's for dramatic effect, I suppose.
A record? Oh, you must mean the one in the hands of your second-in-command, Theophan?
How do you know about that?
Because when you contacted me, I also made contact with your associates. I have Theophan to thank for providing me with the poison I used on you today. He'll help me tie up all the loose ends. After all, your untimely demise comes with a few perks for him. He has been eyeing your position for a long time now.
That traitor! Jerry, you...
It's mostly to clear things up and answer questions the audience might ask, I suppose.
Shh. Relax. It's over. After tonight, everyone gets what they want. And anyone else in the know is either my accomplice or about to be taken out of the picture. Sweet dreams, Mr. Yusupov.
God, this guy is sinister. He's such a good guy, you think at first, and then it turns out he's actually super evil. Surprise, bitch! Oh, the Millilith. Thank God. We have backup. The jig's up.
I did a little surveying on the way here and found that you'd left yourself 3 escape routes in case things went south. I have them all surrounded. If you're thinking of trying anything, save yourself the effort. The game's up. We were here the whole time and have pictures of everything. They came out pretty nicely. Want to see them?
The game's up? Forgive me, I'm not quite sure what you're referring to, Miss Yelan. I happened to discover a Fatui operation here, so I approached them on the pretext of joining forces and eventually brought them down from within. If it pleases you, Miss Yelan, I'd be only too happy to have you join me in investigating this matter.
This is how you want to play it, huh? Fine. You do you. All we need to do to convict you is establish that the poison in his system is the same as in Uncle Tien's.
Ooh.
Nothing else you wanted to add? Let's leave it there then. Time to go.
One wrong move and it all comes crashing down. I should have been more careful. You followed him here, didn't you? I was so focused on keeping myself out of sight, I forgot he was a potential liability. Let's talk about this, Yelan. I gave you my word that I would live up to the Tianshu name, and that much I can still guarantee.
Shoot him again. Don't listen to him. Just shoot him again.
Your point being?
When I take office, I can guarantee that I will act in your best interests. In fact, all of you here tonight can expect very generous treatment in the future.
Shoot him again.
I don't deny that I used underhanded methods to get here. But given my lowly origins, what other choice did I have?
You still don't get it, do you? Even now. What do you think?
What will Uncle Tien think?
Exactly. Jur-E, clever people can always come up with a good excuse. But while you might be able to get other people to believe you, you'll never be able to deceive yourself. There's nothing wrong with wanting to win other people's respect, but when has Uncle Tien ever looked down on you? He was like a teacher and a father to you, but you chose to repay that by poisoning him. Whatever positive goal you may have started out with, you threw it away in that moment.
That's enough.
Of course. What makes this even crueler is that you managed to convince yourself there was no other way. Uncle Tien was always going to give you this opportunity, even if you'd done nothing at all. Out of everyone in the world, he is the one who trusts you the most. So much that he drank your fish soup without doubting you, not for 1 second.
That's enough. That's enough.
Life is like fishing. It cannot be rushed. Whatever you do, impatience will accomplish nothing. I was just like you once, desperate to prove myself. Only later did I realize things do not always turn out the way you plan. But you have to keep calm to carry on. You're still young. Be patient, believe in yourself, and don't look outside yourself to prove your value. Where's Jury these days? It's been a long time since he last paid me a visit.
Maybe he's just busy.
Well, next time, if he doesn't bring a pot of piping hot fish soup, don't let him in.
Whatever you were thinking about, you'll have plenty of time to mull it over in prison. Oh, I almost forgot. If the Fatui find out what happened today, prison might not turn out to be the safest place for you. Trying to have friends on both sides, it has a way of turning everyone against you. But right now, I have an opportunity for you.
Huh?
Sorry, things are about to get extremely busy for me. Let's meet at Yenshang Tea House tomorrow morning. I'll have someone remove the explosives. Then, there's someone I have to go and see.
Need our help with that?
No, it could be dangerous. You should leave this one to the professionals.
Alright, so Klee then.
Don't worry. As long as they're willing to cooperate, this'll be a straightforward deal. Get some rest. See you tomorrow.
Is there anything else? I think that was it. Wait until 8 a.m. the following day. Luckily, it was close to midnight, so I don't have to wait long. The tea house. Alright, what's the situation?
There is now no poison left in his system. But recovery from the damage already done will not happen overnight.
Oh, looks like Baiju helped out.
Dr. Baiju, is my father going to be...
You needn't worry too much. Keep taking the prescribed medicine every day, and a full recovery will take at most 2 to 3 years. It's good we caught it in time. A few days later, and the toxin would have built up in the internal organs. At that point, things would have been much more serious.
Damn.
How did they successfully secure such a seldom-seen poison? It seems the Fatui are extremely resourceful. Unfortunately for them, They were up against us.
Uncle Tian will be heading off now. Remember to get plenty of rest and avoid overexerting yourself while you're recovering.
Don't worry, I will. Thank you very much. Ah, you're here too? Thank you for all you've done to resolve this situation. I'll have to make some tea in a moment. You simply have to try it.
Imagine a literal goddess standing next to a lake for 8 hours straight like a statue. Pretty much.
Yes, the exhaustion seems to have gone. My mind is steadily getting clearer again.
Luckily, it looks like choosing the Tianshu's successor is suddenly not such a pressing issue after all.
Hey, Yelan!
My work is mostly wrapped up, so I thought I'd take a minute to check in here. The assessment process comes to an end here, Uncle Tian. In my opinion, Zhi is not suitable for the position. But Qianwei and Mingbo both have potential.
Yeah, I wonder why.
You have my gratitude. People can change their loyalties easily. I've always known this. But whenever it happens, it's still a dismal experience.
Is it just Paimon, or is Uncle Tian not that surprised?
Don't underestimate Uncle Tian. He wouldn't have appointed me as assessment officer if he hadn't had his doubts about Zhi. Normally, the Yue High Pavilion would be responsible for assessing the candidates. Isn't that right, Uncle Tian?
Yes, to be quite honest, I wanted to trust him unreservedly. But I have to be responsible with the position of Tianshu. When I first met Zhi, I wondered if he had approached me with a hidden agenda. So I secretly investigated him. I concluded that he had no ulterior motives whatsoever. He just saw me as an ordinary fishing friend. In the end, even he changed. But when did it start?
What if none of this had ever happened?
I never had any plans to recommend him directly, but I always intended to give him the chance to compete on a level playing field. Family background and fame mean everything to many people, but I don't attach great importance to them. I had no reputation to speak of when I first became Tianshu. I relied on Ganyu's assistance for all manner of things. What I really admired about Zhi was his intelligence and resilience.
Ganyu's assistants? Yes, Ganyu, the 3,000-year-old woman.
I have to admit, he's a smart guy, and very cautious. The intel suggests that the Fatui saw him as very low risk, but Zhi was still extremely careful with the poisoning. He chose that specific liquor from Xinyue Kiosk because the fiery flavor would mask the bitterness of the poison, and he chose to wait until the Fatui official was drunk and had his guard down before delivering it to him. He also installed a secret compartment in the wine pot he bought to hold the poison. As the amount of liquor went down, he'd shake the pot to release the poison from the compartment into the liquor. Afterwards, we also found he had an antidote on him. Had the Fatui official grown suspicious, Zhi would have drunk the poisoned wine himself, and then found an opportunity to take the antidote shortly afterwards.
Clever.
But that's still really dangerous.
Yes. Had he drunk the poisonous wine, he still would have faced serious health consequences despite taking the antidote. He didn't hesitate to put himself in harm's way to achieve his goal.
How is Zhi now?
Well, I mean, he is sitting in a jail cell. Like Yanfei says, everyone who breaks the law has to pay the price. Still, he's cooperating. He didn't turn down my offer to strike a deal. I'll make sure there are plenty of guards around to keep him safe from anything the Fatui might be planning.
A deal? Does this have to do with what you said to him when you arrested him?
Yes, Jur-E's not the one I'm interested in. If he was as far as this went, I'd have handed the case off to my subordinates as soon as I realized. But once the Fatui became involved, things got a whole lot more interesting. I thought I might have the chance to catch a big fish.
Well, if it's Senora you're thinking about, that's not happening.
Well, did you?
Almost. Unfortunately, it slipped off the hook at the last second.
Uncle Tian? Yelan? What are you talking about? Paimon doesn't understand.
Jur-E colluded with the Fatui to try and secure the position of Tianshu. Or, to put it the other way around, the Fatui made an attempt to interfere in the Tianshu selection process. With Yusupov in our hands, and a statement from Jur-E, we could afford to continue with a diplomatic offensive. Also, we'd be able to gain control of Theophan, Yusupov's second-in-command. Then we'd have a pawn in the ranks of the Fatui. Pawns like this can be major assets. They open up all sorts of new options.
So this was your real plan?
Why else did you think I was investing so much time and effort into this case?
So, okay, well, did your plan succeed?
We got halfway. The first part went off without a hitch, and we passed all the information on to Lady Ningguang. But when we tried to make contact with Theophan, he was gone, along with all the evidence.
The Fatui must be spying on us. Otherwise, they'd never been able to respond so quickly.
I found out from other sources that the Harbinger Regrator got involved.
Which one is that? I don't know that one. Senora is very much gone, turned to fecking dust.
The Fatui's main forces aren't concentrated here. Regrator was only treating this as a peripheral concern.
Regrator. Which fecking one is that? I don't think it's Dottore. It's not the #1 guy. I don't know which one that is.
It's a pity that Theophan got away. But knowing which Harbingers are still looking at Liyue is something. It gives me a starting point for my next mission.
I have to ask, Yelan, do you have any desire to take over the position of Tianshu yourself? I remember you showed some interest a few days ago at Yenshang Tea House. In my estimation, you are more than competent.
Oh, that. I was obviously joking. I prefer my current life. There's danger and there's excitement. Although it'd still be a behind-the-scenes role. As Tianshu, I wouldn't have the chance to get involved in anything truly clandestine or face any real danger.
Oof, she lives for the danger.
Alright, I'm done here. Time for me to go. I'm heading off again in a few days and I still have to prepare.
Where are you off to this time?
As you might have guessed, it's for me to know and you to find out. But I'm sure if you keep going as you are, getting yourselves involved in other people's business all the time, you're sure to get caught up in another misadventure before too long. Maybe I'll see you the next time danger beckons. Until then, keep your wits about you. A lot of people are watching you for a lot of reasons. If you have any more questions, just ask Uncle Tian. After the recent turn of events, I'd say he owes you one, wouldn't you?
Okay. Looks like we get to talk to him.
What would you like to know?
About Ji.
Something I've said to Jury, Qinwei, and Mingguo before is that while cunning and scheming are quite crucial, even more important than this is staying true to yourself. Jury and Ambassador Yusupov each saw each other as a means to an end. They thought that if they could just outsmart their opponent, they would emerge the final victor. And yet, in the eyes of Yelan and Regrator, they are but pawns in a much bigger game. Scheming is an endless endeavor. If you can't cope with it, you're better off staying out of it. It gives you a much clearer view in any case. Everyone has self-interest, but you cannot let it be your master. So, don't fight over fleeting gains and losses. Rather, focus on the direction your heart is leading you, and keep moving forward. What would you like to know?
About Yelan.
I first met Yelan when she was very young. Even back then, she was extremely tough, and she kept her cards close to her chest. An old friend of mine once privately commented to me that Yelan is always smiling, but never with her eyes. She is a very dangerous person. Something of an exaggeration in my view. At least, I know she would never hurt the people she trusts. What would you like to know?
About Regrator.
Regrator is the 9th of the Fatui Harbingers, though likely the first among them where wealth is concerned.
Okay, so he's rich and he's rank 9.
However, his wealth is not a mere question of how much more he has to his name. He has a very unique understanding of wealth, and what he's planning may very well shake the world to its core. Beyond that, I don't have a lot of information about him. If you need to know more in the future, you can ask Ningguang. What would you like to know?
About the next Tianshu.
As Yelan says, now that I'm on the mend, I should have another few years worth of work in me. During this time, I plan to gradually hand over my duties while mentoring some new candidates.
New candidates. Alright, well, be careful with your soup.
That reminds me. Chen Wei and Ming Bo are still waiting downstairs. I must go and have a chat with them shortly.
Okay, that was all the dialogue options. Oh wait, there's a chest back here, I remember now.
So Juri is already in prison, I guess?
You think? He poisoned Uncle Tien. I still can't believe he'd do that.
It seems everyone knows.
Why the long face?
Nothing. I think it's a great shame. I always thought he's very smart. If he became Tianshu, he'd be able to accomplish many things I could never hope to.
Small town? What do you mean small town? It's one of the major cities. And ports.
Don't feel bad. I'll admit he was a strong contender, but give me 3 years and I'll overtake him. When I become Tianshu, I'll make you my deputy. Like the sound of that?
Start by working on your temperamental issues. If you can't keep your cool, your work will suffer. Right now, you still have a long way to go before you'll be eligible to take the Tianshu position.
I agree, he's still an asshole.
I'll get there. One step at a time. And then, before you know it, there'll come a day when you won't be able to find a single flaw in me or my work.
Things like that get around quickly? I suppose. I mean, it is a big deal.
First things first, though. Let's go and talk to Uncle Tien.
Anyone else lurking around? Already talked to him. There's a cat over here who I cannot pet. Oh, alright. It looks like I've got most of them. Only 5 left. You should be able to pet the animals? Wait, what? What do you mean? Hang on, let's find another cat or dog or something. Here. I'm not seeing any prompt come up. Hello, doggo. Nope, nothing's coming up. I don't see any sort of interactable option. Oh, speaking of which, I need to go do the expeditions.
Ad Astra Abyssosk. Welcome to the Adventurers Guild.
I mean, you should, but you can't, and that's dumb. Let me pet.
Thank you for completing today's commissions. Here is your reward. Ad Astra Abyssosk. Welcome to the Adventurers Guild.
Oof. 2 weeks left. I wonder if I can finish it again. Oh, hey. Alright, time to do some cooking.
The world remains constant over the centuries, but human life is like the dew at dawn, or a bubble rising through water. Transitory.
Alright, what do I want? Climbing and sprinting. Oh yeah, revival. Actually, I really gotta go pee. Be right back. Please don't close. Okie doke, I'm back. Okay. Right, I want to cook 20 things to rake up some points. Sure, Sakura Mochi. Get Aika to make it because of the special dish. Let's make 10 of these. And then 10 of something else. Aw, only one. But this is so good. Like, in comparison, revives a character, restores 1500 HP. Revives a character, restores 20% max HP, and then an additional 1500. I have 34 hash browns, I think that's enough of that. Wait, now that I think about it. Sucrose? I think this one also has a pretty good revival effect as well. Three? Yo, 3? That's like a 10% chance of happening. I got 3? Damn. Well done, Sucrose. Who knew you were such a good chef? Alright, that's a few hundred points, I think. Spend a total of 500k Mora. Complete 3 requests. Okay, I can do that. Oh, I'm heading... Oh, yeah. I'm headed to Inazuma anyhow, so... How's my reputation? Uh-huh. Yeah, beat people up. 15 carrots. I can do that. 10 iron chunks. Do I have 10 iron chunks, first of all? I have 47. Alright, I can do that. Where is that? Back in the city? Interested in iron chunks? Yeah. How far away is that? All the way over here. Oh yeah, all the storms should be gone now. Because I finally bothered to do that quest. Okie doke. Death from above!
My guiding stars! Hey!
Shine down!
I see everything! The night is cold.
My blade! The fairy!
Was that all? It says completed. Alright. Now to deliver those carrots. All the way back at the shrine. Everyone been staying hydrated? Ah yes, Sayu. Submit. Always? Good to hear. Alright, wait. I need to put navigation back on the quest. There we go. That way. Let's fly. I can make it. I hope. I swear, gliding in this game is faster than gliding in Tower of Fantasy. Even though the glider in Tower of Fantasy has jet engines on it. "300 meters in closing." Uses less stamina? Yeah. I mean, if I had Amber on the team, I think I would be using even less stamina. Get closer. Almost there. Alright, now we can run. Yeah, I know. She has...
It's been a while since we first set foot on Inazuma. So many things have happened since then.
There have been many memorable events.
Yeah, we've definitely made some progress on our journey. So, where should we go today?
Wait a moment.
Huh? What's up?
Be careful.
Hey! What the heck was that for? Doesn't want to talk, huh? Alright, let's convince him to calm down a little.
No mercy!
The night is cold.
Oh, shit.
Huh? So you don't have a vision after all?
I was winning. What happened?
Seems like I've mistaken you for someone else.
At the very least, you should make sure you've got the right person before you go attacking them. No, wait. Even when you've got the right person, you shouldn't go attacking them out of the blue. It's dangerous.
Have you ever met someone by the name of Kaedahara Kazuha? He carries a sword just like you. I've also heard that he possesses an animo vision.
Why are you looking for him?
That's none of your business.
It is now, bitch.
Never mind. You don't look like you know anything anyway. I'm wasting my time.
What the heck is this guy's problem? Coming around here, waving that weird sword in our faces, and he didn't even apologize. Seems like a real nutcase. Well, one thing's for sure. No way are we telling him anything about Kazuha.
Very smart, for once. No kidding. I'm not mean. Couldn't agree more.
Right? Paimon has a feeling, though, that even if this guy gets to challenge Kazuha to a duel, he won't be able to beat him. Anyway, just to be on the safe side, we should go fight Kazuha right away and tell him to watch his back.
Actually, I have a hunch.
Oh? What kind of hunch?
This guy may have a special connection.
A special connection? You mean beyond already knowing each other?
Can't say for sure, but fighting styles are kind of similar.
Yeah, maybe a little. But then again, most people look pretty much the same once they start fighting, so that doesn't really prove anything. Anyway, There's no time to lose. Let's go tell Kazuha so we won't get into any danger. Paimon heard that the Crux fleet is stocking up in Rito at the moment. Let's look for him there.
$400. Okay, that's farther than I thought. Let's go. Behold. Oh, wait, why is it leading me around? Look at the sparkle trail. It's going around that way, even though he's standing over here. I have no idea why. Excuse me, sir.
Hey! Hello? Do you know where Kazuha is?
You're looking for Kazuha too, huh? Guess he must have done something impressive after all.
2?
Well, we took the small vessels into Rito on a routine supply run, only this time, as soon as we entered the harbor, we ran into a huge crowd of Inazumans, all of them wanting to know about Kazuha. If it's because of that battle on Nizuchi Beach, Captain Beto had a great run there too, but I don't see her getting this kind of attention. Kazuha keeps to himself most of the time. In fact, there are times when he doesn't even listen to the captain, but she just laughs it off.
Oh, so you still don't know what he did?
I've heard bits and pieces. Something about him blocking the Raiden Shogun's Muso no Hitotachi.
Oh yeah, that happened.
Is it really as big a deal as everyone's making it out to be?
You could compare it to the technique Beto used to strike down Haishan.
Really? Wow. When you put it like that, it all makes sense. In that case, his newfound stardom is well deserved. He was called away earlier by some people from the Tenryo Commission. They said they had something important to discuss with him. I thought they'd come to arrest him at first. Turns out they couldn't have been friendlier to him. Seems like they really respect the guy.
Just a little while ago, this would have been completely unimaginable.
The Shogunate probably wants to show some goodwill. After all, the Raiden Shogun's mindset has changed.
Thank you! Guess we'll go pay a visit to the Tenryo Commission.
Okay, now we gotta go all the way to Narukami.
I'll just stay here and carry on trying to fend off the crowd.
Yep, that's all the way over here. Yes, out of the way, folks. It is I. Pay no attention. What's with the music?
Oh? It's you.
Hey, you, Kazuha, and you again, Kujo guy. How you how's the old beatdown healing up?
Greetings. We were just discussing the repealing of the Vision Hunt decree. Since you're here, you're very welcome to listen in on the conversation. We invited Mr. Kaidahara here to extend a gesture of goodwill on behalf of the Shogunate. Your hard work has secured for us the agreeable state of affairs that we now enjoy. Also, I've been granted the chance to correct my clan's past mistakes, and for that, I'm deeply grateful. The Almighty Shogun has issued a large array of directives aimed at resolving, or at least easing, the tensions that have built up over the years. The Tri-Commission has made the recommendation to use this opportunity to restore the honor of the Kaidahara name.
You can always very clearly tell who the playable character is. It's like an anime or manga. You can guess who the MC and like supporting characters are.
Regarding the history of the Kaidahara clan, I trust that you're already somewhat informed?
I've heard a thing or two.
In short, there was once a group of select bladesmiths who served the Shogun directly, responsible for upholding and further developing the traditional blade forging arts of the almighty Shogun. The Kaedahara clan belonged to this class. But there came a time when some of these bladesmiths revolted and fled to Snezhnaya. Both the Kaedahara and Kamisato clans were held accountable for lax oversight and entered a period of great turmoil. We later learned that the whole misadventure had been secretly orchestrated by the Fatui. Attributing all of the blame to the Kamisato and Kaedahara clans was neither proper nor just. Considering Mr. Kaedahara has once more made an outstanding contribution to Inazuma, the almighty Shogun believes he should not only be rewarded for his achievements, but also receive recompense for the excessive punishment borne by his clan in the past. In the interest of preventing further harassment of the bladesmith clans by the Fatui, we chose not to publicly release the findings of our investigations into these matters. We trust you can understand why this was necessary.
This is a true honor. I am delighted to be in a position to receive the goodwill of the almighty Shogun and the Shogunate at large. However, would I be correct to assume that this magnanimous gesture does not come without some strings attached?
I can assure you that nothing could be further from the truth. We seek only to correct a past injustice. With the Kaedahara clan's reputation and occupation restored, the Kaedaharas will be bladesmiths once more, and your wanderings will finally come to an end.
Wait, is Kazuha the last one? Or does he have like some cousins living and hiding somewhere?
You will be able to lead a safe and prosperous life in Inazuma City with the almighty Shogun's blessing and full support of the Shogunate.
I have grown accustomed to life among the elements. I fear I would no longer feel at home behind the tall walls of a stately abode. Yet my ancestors did indeed take great pride in the name of Kaedahara, and the art of blade making for which it stood. I do have a responsibility to restore their honor.
I sense some hesitation in your words. Should you accept this offer, I imagine many of the malicious rumors currently circulating through the populace will disappear.
Malicious rumors? What?
Malicious rumors? All we heard on the way here was so much praise that we almost wondered whether there was another Kaedahara Kazuha in town.
Well, to some, the Muso no Hitotachi is something that can never be defeated. They cannot accept the idea that Mr. Kaedahara really parried the Shogun's strike. Also, eyewitnesses saw him using the power of Electro in addition to that of Animo. As a result, the falsehood that Kaedahara Kazuha was using a delusion began to spread.
What? But that doesn't make sense. Using a delusion turns you old and frail, and Kazuha still looks fine.
Yeah, and the amount of power you would need to be able to parry something like that?
That is correct. However, to some people, the idea of a single person wielding two elements at once is a more inconceivable notion still.
Even though that was only for like a few moments.
This is just one of many similar rumors. I am very uncomfortable with being the subject of public discussion, no matter whether it brings suspicion or stardom my way. But perhaps if the Shogunate is willing to publicly support me, this situation will blow over more quickly.
This is precisely why I encourage you to give our offer some serious thought. It stands to benefit all of us.
Please allow me some time to consider. In fact, let us put this discussion on hold for the moment. Well then, what brings the two of you here?
Oh yeah, that sword-wielding maniac.
Yikes! We nearly forgot about the most important thing!
Recount the attack on the outskirts of the town.
Why would such a dangerous individual be looking for me?
Could it be someone you trained with under the same master?
No. This puzzles me as much as it does you. My fighting forms were taught to me by my family, based on techniques originally developed for blade testing. We undergo rigorous training to standardize every motion the blade is put through, so that each can be fairly assessed for quality.
Okay.
Over time, these techniques came to form something of a Kaedahara sword art, focused on blade testing, but with a full repertoire of combat forms.
Those forms are quite different from the more practical ones typically used by samurai in battle. So it's hard to imagine that the similarity you speak of was coincidence alone.
All the more reason to watch your back. This guy was a serious nutcase.
Indeed. He sounds highly aggressive. Anyone he targets is at risk of serious injury. Or worse.
Hang on, did I feckin' blink or something? Did the lighting just change?
In that case, I will send some men out immediately to search for him.
Thank you. I must say I am now very curious about this matter, and I will also need some time to consider your offer. I will first join the Traveler in investigating the one who attacked her, then give you a conclusive answer upon my return.
Very well. Please stay safe.
No worries. Between the two of us, we can handle it.
Come on. Let's go and track down your aggressor.
I mean, if it comes down to him.
The detective agency knows the most about what goes on in town. Let's see what Ryuji has to say.
Yeah, like I was saying, between the two of us, I think we can handle it. Alright, I think I want to switch up teams now. The small squad. Bloom team? No. Freeze team? Maybe. You know what? I miss throwing bombs. Let's go. Whee! Take the small squad. Unfortunately, the only two that I've really built up are Klee and Nahida, so only those two would be any good in a fight. Diona is a bit redundant now because I have Layla, and she's a better shielder in my opinion. And Chi-Chi, I just don't really build Chi-Chi because I have Kokomi. Death from above.
Hey there! We'd like to ask you a quick question. Do you know if anyone around here has been looking for him? For Kaidahara Kazuha, we mean.
Poor question. Everyone has been looking for him.
Aha! So this is the renowned Mr. Kaidehara. I've heard a lot about you. It is an honor to finally meet you today.
You are too kind. We are currently investigating an assault and would appreciate any help you can offer.
Oh? You were targeted in an assault? Let me think. I can't seem to recall anything of immediate interest. Mr. Kaidehara is currently the talk of the town, so there are always a lot of people looking for him. To be honest with you, our detective agency has recently been receiving many inquiries from people wishing to obtain Mr. Kaidehara's personal information. Some of them were offering us millions of mora just to gather the information they want. If these were more legitimate commissions, Sango would have snapped them up in an instant.
Millions? Of mora? Whoa! Oh, wait, even at that price, you probably still shouldn't.
You can still definitely tell who doesn't fecking matter to the story.
Please, accept my thanks for looking out for my privacy.
Of course. No matter what, we only take on legitimate cases. We don't make our money by revealing details of other people's day-to-day life just for the sake of it.
Yeah, I mean, he has a very generic look. Also, his clothes are actually like just kind of flat. There's like no raised texture to it, whereas like these two, Like you can tell like the knot on her sleeve there and like the scarf and everything.
Sorry, I got a little off topic. What I'm really trying to say is, it doesn't surprise me that a complete stranger is looking for Mr. Kaedehara. But I wouldn't know where to begin if we want to connect this with an assault.
Then let's put that connection aside for now. Have there been any other attacks or similar incidents recently that stand out as particularly unusual? The Tenryou Commission had very few leads. I thought you might have some information from different sources.
It's true that the commissioners aren't clued up about every little thing that goes on out in the streets. But typically, it's only the most trivial events that manage to escape their attention. If anyone had been out there attacking people, that would be assault, in which case the Tenryou Commission would absolutely get involved.
That does make sense.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Looks like the trail's already run cold.
Maybe if we head back to the site of the attack, Kazuha can use his enhanced senses to track the guy?
I still find it difficult to believe that whoever attacked you hasn't been causing any trouble elsewhere. Few people possess your prowess in battle. So unless you were the first person he targeted, someone is certain to have been hurt by now.
Is this your way of giving praise?
I am well aware of your talents. There is no need to be humble around me. In fact, I'm quite relieved that you were the one he targeted. It would cause me great grief to see someone become critically injured or lose their life because of me. For the poor victim, this would be a completely senseless crime.
Don't worry, we'll find him.
It seems you are every bit the selfless hero they make you out to be, Mr. Kaedehara. Surely this same concern for your fellow man is what drove you to fearlessly raise your blade against the almighty Shogun.
You flatter me. Truth be told, I don't know quite what came over me in that moment.
You are much too humble. Don't worry, I completely understand your concerns. I will try my best to gather whatever leads I can for you. Oh, actually, there was one strange incident over the last few days. It doesn't involve an attack, though.
Perhaps it is still relevant?
Let me tell you about it just in case.
Sure. During times like this, the more information we have, the better.
All right then. Recently, 2 people went missing from the city at around the same time. One of them is a pretty well-known collector, surnamed Nagato. The other, Amenoma Yuya, is a samurai from the Amenoma clan.
Amenoma! Now there's a familiar name.
Right. Yuya is the nephew of Amenoma Togo, the owner of Amenoma Smithy. 2 grown men going missing at the same time. Their cases are likely connected, but I don't know much in the way of details. I recalled this because Amenoma Yuya is also an accomplished martial artist who is skilled with the blade. Perhaps he is the one you are looking for.
Understood, though it seems highly unlikely to me. I neither know this man, nor do I have any idea why he may wish to attack me.
We'll investigate both incidents.
Sure, can't hurt. We never know what we might find out along the way.
True.
Thank you, Ryuji. We'll start by making some inquiries at the Amenoma Smithy.
Sounds good. All the best with your investigation. I'll get moving shortly myself.
Ah, if it isn't Kaedehara Kazuha. What brings you here today?
Huh? You two know each other?
Apparently.
Yes. The Kaedehara and Amenoma clans were both members of the Raiden Gokaden. Historically, there have always been deep links between the 2 clans. After I returned to Inazuma, I visited Mr. Amenoma to pay my respects.
Raiden Gokaden?
Let me quickly explain. The Raiden Gokaden was the collective term for the 5 most acclaimed bladesmithing arts in Inazuma. The techniques of blade making were personally bequeathed to the Raiden Gokaden by the almighty Shogun, and over time, further honed and enhanced by the most talented craftsmen.
Wait. How does everything go back to Raiden somehow? She taught them how to make swords, and from some dialogue that I was reading from her voice lines, she also was the originator of sword and polearm fighting in Inazuma.
Unfortunately, a series of events led to the gradual decline of many clans in the bladesmithing trade. Today, only the Amenoma clan has kept its art alive.
So sad.
It is a great pity indeed. In the old days, we each had our specialties. And just as iron sharpens iron, so too did we learn much from each other.
I find it kind of funny to look at, but like the sword, it doesn't feel like he's actually, holding it. Plus, it seems like a static object, and then in comparison, his hammer. Like the textures on his hammer and the sword are kind of different. I'm like, kind of odd.
As an example, the Amenoma art strives to emulate the abiding patience and determination of water as it turns stone to sand.
Amenoma is a fun word.
There is nothing mystical to our work. There is only practice, day in and day out, until both body and mind have memorized the craft, turning each motion of every technique into an intrinsic part of the bladesmith's life. As for the art of the Kaedehara clan, I believe it's called the Ishin art.
That's right. Ishin art strives for complete harmony between blade and mind from the moment that forging begins. For only a blade thus forged can capture and convey its maker's thoughts and feelings, and eventually become an extension of its wielder's will.
Indeed. Most samurai choose their blades, but an Ishin blade chooses its owner.
What, is it like Harry Potter now? Like, the wand chooses the wizard, Mr. Potter. It is not clear why.
You are, without a doubt, the most worthy wielder of an Ishin blade. It gladdens my heart to see that although the Kaedehara clan has fallen on hard times, its ideals and virtues are alive and well.
You overestimate me. My actions are guided by my own personal sentiments, not by any noble aspirations on behalf of my clan.
So humble he is.
But let's get back on topic. The purpose of our visit today is to gather some information on your missing nephew. We hope to assist with the investigation. It may turn out that this case is connected to another we are pursuing.
Ah, yes. My nephew. I reported the case to the Tenryo Commission, but I haven't heard anything back so far. He didn't say a word before he left, which is very unlike him. I'm still completely at a loss on what to make of it. But I've done what I can so far. Worrying is futile. All I can do now is wait for the news from the Tenryo Commission.
We heard that there was a collector involved in the disappearance too. Know anything about that?
A collector?
Yes. On the morning that Yuya went missing, he gave me a very cryptic look and said that he was going to give me a great gift.
A great gift?
I believe he went to collect the item from Mr. Nagato after that. The next thing I heard was that a fire had broken out at the warehouse. And neither of them came back.
A fire? Wait, if a fire broke out, then... Wait, were there no bodies found?
Yes. Strange, isn't it? I wonder what could have caused it. Unfortunately, there was very little evidence left behind, so nobody knows what really happened.
Alright, we need a crack team of Kazuha, Heizo, and Albedo. Between those three, I'm pretty sure they can solve any and all mysteries. Albedo's clever as fuck, dude. Seriously. Dude is a fucking genius.
Do you have any thoughts on what Yuya may have wanted to give you?
If I had to guess, it must have been some kind of rare weapon. Otherwise, there would have been no reason for him to get my hopes up. He's never been particularly interested in blade forging, but has always had a fondness for blade testing, and can sense even the most minute differences in blade quality. He is extraordinarily talented in martial arts, particularly when it comes to the art of the sword.
Truth be told, we have some information that you may find to be objectionable. The person we are looking for, he attacked this friend of mine. Based on the evidence we have gathered so far, only Yuya seems to match the suspect's profile.
What? No. Absolutely impossible. Yuya is not that kind of person. He is humble and kind. Even his training is done with the goal of calming his mind. He has never gotten into a fight before.
Huh. Is that so?
Yes. If there's one thing I can say for certain, it's that Yuya would never draw his blade without a very good reason. But, with that said, it's equally out of character for him to just disappear, with neither farewell nor fair warning.
Okay, let's start putting things together. Mysterious samurai with a crazy looking sword attacks us. Let's see. 2 disappearances. 1, this guy's nephew, a renowned swordsman. 2, a collector, which we've yet to go into. The nephew says he's off to go retrieve a special gift of some kind, but disappears after a fire breaks out at the warehouse. Nephew is also known to not be angry or reckless, in contrast to what happened to Lumine here. Alright.
I also cannot know what course of action he might be capable of if coerced, or otherwise compelled by circumstances unbeknownst to me. Anyway, should you find him, please let me know as soon as possible.
Don't worry about it, we will.
Don't worry. You have our word.
From the sound of that, Paimon doesn't think Yuya was the one who attacked us as well.
We still need to get info from the Nagato family.
Yes. It sounds as if something happened when the 2 men met each other. Let's pay a visit to the Nagato household.
Okay, where is that? Up there? How far up there? Alright, I suppose we can run. Oh wait, I have Elan. Wait, what? Am I going the wrong way? $100 meters. I think over short distances, Yolan might be the fastest. Miss?
I'm very sorry, but we cannot afford to pay what we owe right now.
We're not debt collectors.
My husband has gone missing, and I'm still trying to find him.
No, you misunderstand us. We are here to help with the investigation. We'd like to ask you some questions about Mr. Nagato's disappearance, if we may.
Ah, I see. I thought the debt collectors had come to visit again. I'm sorry you have to see me in this dreadful state. Has some new information come out? Do you know where he's gone?
Unfortunately not.
I'm afraid we don't have any new information at the moment. We're still trying to find out as much as we can to inform our search. With this in mind, can we perhaps ask some questions about your family's current situation?
For example, Paimon's struggling to understand why a collector would be strapped for Mora.
That's a long story. Ever since I've known him, he's been an avid collector of all sorts of things. He'd always get so animated when he was showing them to me. I knew nothing about the items myself, but seeing how enthusiastic and excited they made him, I was happy to believe that they were just extremely important to him. Everything was fine when we first got married, but as time went by, things changed for the worse.
How so?
Uh-oh, what happened?
He lost his sense of restraint. He started buying more and more things, and even resorted to borrowing money just so he could pay for them.
Jeez. He's getting out of control.
Our expenses really spiraled out of control when he started getting interested in weapons. It was awful. There were days when he'd spend hours down at the warehouse, admiring his weapons even as debt collectors were descending upon our house. He wouldn't sell them, wouldn't even touch them. Just sat there staring at them like he was in a trance.
I feel like one of those weapons may have been cursed.
I'm happy he has a hobby, and I'm willing to support him. But making ends meet has to come first. I've tried talking to him about it so many times, but he never listens. On the last day that I saw him, I gave him an ultimatum. I said, if he refused to sell his collectibles and pay off his debts, I would divorce him and take the children with me.
Honestly, I don't really blame her too much. Like, unless he's been cursed or something? That's not entirely unreasonable, if you ask me. Going into heavy debt, like ignoring your wife entirely.
Whoa!
And that led to an argument.
Actually, it didn't. Generally, he's a quiet man who likes to go with the flow. On most things, he leaves the decision-making to me. You must understand, I never would have dreamed of threatening him with divorce if the debts hadn't pushed our family to the brink. After I said those words, he froze and was silent for a long time. When he finally spoke, he awkwardly mumbled that he would pick out a few items to sell. His voice was so meek and pitiful that I felt an urge to take everything back. But then what? If I didn't draw the line, what would happen to our family?
It's important to set boundaries.
Had I not indulged his bad habits, we wouldn't have found ourselves in such a predicament. And I also don't know if he had actually come to his senses, or if he was simply angry with me. The next thing I heard was that our warehouse had caught fire, and both he and the buyer had gone missing.
I see. I understand.
Okay, tacking on more evidence to previous considerations. A collector that is heavily in debt, has to sell off some of his collection in order to pay the bills and whatnot. One of the buyers is the nephew, come to collect a sword. Presumably. The nephew had a heavy and great interest in weapons, and the collector had quite the collection, it seems. Okay, we've got the basics of this put together, I think.
Amin Omeyuya came to purchase a weapon from Mr. Nagato. During the sale, a fire broke out at the warehouse, and both men disappeared.
TLDR.
At first, I assumed they must have gotten into an argument over the price. But my husband has never been one to negotiate. He never even haggles when he's out buying groceries, so it's hard to imagine him getting into a fierce argument.
Maybe he was feeling the pressure from the debts?
I don't know. He just disappeared after the warehouse burned down.
Question remains. What caused the fire?
Perhaps he's too afraid to come home, now that all his collectibles have been lost in the fire, and he's got no way to pay off our debts. Even though I'm still a little mad at him, we're a family, and I want us to face our family's crisis together. As long as he's willing to turn over a new leaf, I know we can work things out.
Please don't get upset. There could be more to this situation than meets the eye.
Yeah, something's up.
If collecting things is a habit that Mr. Nagato had his whole life, it is quite unusual for this habit to change so drastically over a short period. But the information we gathered from the other side suggests Amenoma Yuya is also a mild-mannered man who would not be likely to start an argument.
True, true.
This situation is getting a little confusing.
Alright, we need to send Carrier Pigeon back to Mondstadt and see if we can invite Albedo.
A little confusing. More like completely mystifying.
Let's try a change of scenery and see if we can piece together what we've learned. Rest assured, we'll notify you if we find anything.
Thank you so much. I just want him to come home.
Based on the information we've gathered so far, I can only surmise that the sales meeting between the two men was somehow the catalyst for their disappearance.
Yes.
The fire at the warehouse likely played a part in how the situation unfolded, though its exact role is a mystery.
Yeah.
Do you have any thoughts?
Well, Paimon was thinking that maybe someone accidentally knocked over an oil lamp and,
Perhaps a third party was involved somehow?
Nope, never mind. Paimon's brain needs to rest for a while. Over to you.
Perhaps the fire was delivering. Missing crucial information.
Right. I very much agree with you. It seems highly likely that we're missing a piece of the puzzle.
Yeah.
Working off what we know so far, there are too many things that don't add up. The chances are that there are still some clues left for us to discover.
We need to head to the warehouse.
One fact that I keep coming back to is that Amenoma Yuya is polite and well-mannered, while Mr. Nagato is introverted and passive. Neither seems like the type of person who is inclined towards initiating conflict. Mr. Nagato, being heavily in debt, is also the only one of them with the potential motive to disappear after the fire. The more I ponder it, the more puzzling it becomes. Just what could have happened there?
This also doesn't seem connected to the case of the attacker.
Right. Although the time frame seems to broadly match, no other details that we've learned seem to link the two events together. Amenoma Yuya lacks a key distinguishing feature of the attacker, namely that he is principally a practitioner of the blade testing techniques of Amenoma art, not those of the combat-oriented Ishin art.
Darn! We thought we could get two birds with one stone here, but at this rate, it's starting to look like a wild goose chase.
Yeah.
Let's keep going, since we've come this far.
Not like we can do anything else.
If we can solve the case, both Mr. Amenoma and Mrs. Nagato will be able to get some closure.
Okay, but where should we go now?
The warehouse?
Let's head out of the city and check out the warehouse. There's still a chance we may be able to find some shreds of evidence.
Okay, recover stamina and... Oh?
Wait.
What? What's happening?
I hear something ominous in the wind.
I got a bad feeling about this.
Oh! This must be another one of those sounds that only you can hear. As sketchy as that whole thing seems, you did put it to good use when we were chasing down that vision thief at Beto's tournament, so...
I knew we could count on you.
Now I'm picking up a strong scent in addition to the sound. It's right around here somewhere.
Alright, keep your guard up.
But there's nothing here.
It's gone now, but I can still sense the direction it left in. It felt very much like that ancient presence in Inazuma. The remnants of the Tatarigami.
That? That's one thing I didn't expect to encounter
Indeed.
here.
But this unexpected spring of inauspicious energy may prove to be of benefit to our investigation. We should remain vigilant and approach slowly.
Yeah. Careful now.
Huh. So it's an underground warehouse.
Underground?
The force is definitely coming from down below. The source of the Tatarigami energy has long since left this place, but the residue it left behind still hasn't dissipated completely. Judging from the concentration, I would have to conclude that the Tatarigami source resided here for a very long time.
Mrs. Nagato said her husband used to hang around the warehouse by himself a lot.
Yeah, she did.
It could well be that he was already under the influence of Tatarigami energy at that time.
Surely someone would have noticed.
From what I've been told, Tatarigami does not turn all upon whom it preys into violent monsters. But most will develop a stubborn streak upon being exposed to the Tatarigami's unfulfilled will. Their interests become fanatical obsessions.
His collecting.
Mr. Nagato had an interest in collecting to begin with. The influence of Tatarigami could explain why he became an obsessive hoarder, amassing more and more possessions, even as he put himself in grave debt.
So what should we do now? Go down and take a look?
Step back. I'll open the door and take a look inside.
Alright. Might be dangerous.
If we don't open this door, we can move no closer to the truth. You needn't worry. Both of us have faced far greater dangers than this. Relatively speaking, the risk here is trivial.
What is it? What do your elf eyes see?
What's down there?
Everything's buried in debris. I can't see anything. It looks like the fire caused a cave-in, reducing the entire warehouse to rubble.
Not sure if that's a good or bad thing.
That was too scary! Paimon was so sure that the warehouse boogeyman was about to jump out at us!
All we can do now is keep searching in the direction that the Tatarigami energy source left this place. 2 ordinary humans, entangled with the Tatarigami. I fear much misfortune has already befallen them.
Alright, we can't afford to delay any longer.
Yes, let's go. If nothing else, it's vital that we find out where this Tatarigami energy is coming from. Quiet your mind and focus on what you sense around you. Perhaps you too will perceive its ominous presence in the wind.
Alright, everyone, use the force. Okay. I can see that. Want to grab that mitt. There we go.
From this point, the trail appears to split into two.
So do we split up?
The main source of the Tatarigami energy continued on into the distance, but a small portion remained here, and seems to be dissipating slowly.
2 parts, so that would correspond to Mr. Nagato and Amenoma Yuya.
Quite possibly. Let's search the area.
Whoa! Look at all those hilly churls! They're acting really strangely.
Something seems to be drawing their attention. Let's take a closer look.
Oh, there. I didn't see him.
Boing, boing, boom! Pew! Da-da-da! Ah! Ooh! Ah!
It's what?
Ugh! Look at this red stuff! What is it?
By the looks of it, a letter, written on a piece of torn clothing. The ink is bone dry. It must have been written quite some time ago. Well, let's take a look.
Alright, what does it say? Alright, what is this? I am Nagato. I was wounded by Amenoma Yuya. He took my most precious blade. I chased him, but could not catch him. I laid down here to rest on account of my exhaustion. I thought that I might croak right here. My stomach kept on bleeding. But it seems that some strange power has sustained me. Why did he steal that blade? I was going to sell it to him. He even burned my warehouse down. It hurts, but for some reason I can't fall unconscious. All I can do to distract from the pain is write. What will happen to the Sachiko, Yuichi, and Yuji? I'm sorry to them, I really am. Only now do I realize how stuck in my ways I was and how blind to my obsession I must have been cursed. I collected all those strange and bizarre things, but they won me not one iota of happiness or warmth. Put all of it together and it still wouldn't have been worth a single word from her mouth. Thank you, and sorry for letting you down. Alright, yeah, it seems that he's right about the Tatarigami energy. Some strange power has sustained me. Steal the blade, sell it to him, burn the warehouse down.
According to this letter, a conflict arose because Amenoma Yuya wanted to seize a blade belonging to Mr. Nagato. Yuya started the fire that destroyed the warehouse and wounded Mr. Nagato in the fight. Mr. Nagato kept chase as long as he could, eventually stopping here to write this letter when his strength gave out.
I see.
So, where is he?
He was not only mortally wounded, but also under the heavy influence of Tatarigami. Add to that the fact that its aura seems to have attracted a horde of monsters, and I'm afraid he may no longer be with us.
Ah.
Whatever traces there may have been of his fate beyond after this point, they've since been disturbed by the hilly churls. There's nothing more for us to find here.
Let's ask the Tenryou Commission to do a thorough search later.
Yes. Right now, we need to uncover some more important truths. If Amenoma Yuya is attacking other people indiscriminately, then the longer we take to find him, the more people risk meeting the same tragic end.
Yeah.
Right, so let's get moving.
How did it come to this?
I wouldn't be surprised if he, too, fell prey to the influence of the Tatarigami. For a practitioner of the martial arts, the easiest desire to inflame would be their pursuit of further power and skill. All the clues that at first seemed disparate and disconnected, it seems that now we know the thread that runs between them.
Seemingly.
I have a hypothesis that, if it's correct, not only explains the series of events leading to the two men's disappearance, but also zeroes in on the attacker's identity.
Okay. What is it? What's your hypothesis?
Wait, you figured it out? So these two cases are connected after all?
I believe so. But it's something of an outlandish idea. I will only be able to confirm my suspicions once we've met him in person. On with the search. We must stay vigilant. At any point now, we may find ourselves in danger.
Yeah. Okay, looks like it clearly wants us to go somewhere.
He seems to have stayed here for a long time.
Why here? Is there anything special about this place?
I'm not sure. But on closer examination, I sense that the aura may have lingered here at several different points in time.
Several different points, so it returned here multiple times, but for what reason? What? What is it?
Show yourself! It's no use hiding anymore.
Were we followed?
Kaedehara Kazuha. It's you, at last.
No shit, it's him.
Aha! So it is the same guy from before. What's your problem, huh? What could you possibly have against Kazuha?
Indeed, there should be no enmity between us. If it is Ame no Meyuya that stands before us.
Where are you going with this?
But what if instead of facing Ame no Meyuya, we are in fact facing the blade in his hand?
Hmm? Excuse me. I was having a drink of soda. The blade?
Now that you mention it, it is giving off a strange light. Whoa, whoa! Surely you don't mean... Are you serious?
Tatarigami energy often lodges itself within physical objects, then works to subtly affect any living organisms in its vicinity. The blade has resided in Mr. Nagato's warehouse for many years, affecting his state of mind, and more recently using the sale as a means to affect, or rather as a means to occupy, Ame no Meyuya's body.
You're sharper than I thought. You've already deduced the truth of the matter.
But how did the energy get into the sword?
Many, many years ago, I was forged by a famed bladesmith of the Ishin tradition. I was his pride and joy. In me, he placed all his hopes and dreams. As a descendant of the Kaedehara clan, you should be able to guess our greatest regret.
I presume it has something to do with the Raiden Gokaden.
Indeed. At that point in time, he failed to live up to the Raiden Shogun's expectations. In the end, all he could do was to flee the nation by sea on a ship bound for Snezhnaya. He was a bladesmith of great renown, a master of his craft. There was nothing that he could not accomplish. All he needed was more time and a little faith. And sure enough, in the end, he achieved what he had set out to do. All of his life's work, his wisdom, his skill, it culminated in his creation of me. He not only bestowed upon me the greatest of strength, but also endowed me with a consciousness of my own.
Say feckin' what now?
In her conceit, the Raiden Shogun lost not only the single most perfect blade in the entire world, but also an irreplaceable achievement in the art of blade forging.
I don't know about that. Single most perfect blade?
So... swords can become conscious and control people?
The people of the time in which I was born never believed I had that kind of power. They saw me as a mere blade, a sharp and well-crafted one, but in all other respects an ordinary weapon. But that gave me the opportunity to take action. After the death of my creator, I decided to leave Snezhnaya and began my long quest to return to the distant land of Inazuma. Moving from one person to the next, I controlled the minds of countless hosts along the way, each bringing me one step closer to my ancestral home. I seek but one thing: to face the full force of the Raiden Shogun's blade and prove my power, the might of Ishin art.
Okay. I still think Raiden's gonna win.
Ah, so Amenoma Yuya was not your first victim. Tell me, what happens to those you've possessed when you've finished using them?
My hosts? Who cares what happens to them? They are but tools that serve my mission. When they got tired, or injured, or unusable, I hopped to the next one in line. All I needed them for was to take me back to Inazuma.
You're awful!
After I returned to Inazuma, I decided to bide my time in Nagato's warehouse until Amenoma Yuya handed himself over to me on a silver platter. At long last, I'm approaching my journey's destination. By Amenoma Yuya's body, I have found you, and by your hand, I shall defeat the Raiden Shogun. Kaede Harakazuha, you stood against the Raiden Shogun's Muso no Hitotachi. There can be no other to serve as my host for what is to come.
I don't know if he can pull that off again.
Now, give your body over to me!
Alright, oh.
Boing, boing, boom! La la la!
Right this way, through the minefield.
We shall rewrite history! Join me and sever that divine light!
Oh wait, I keep forgetting how to... Right. Apply pyro, swirl. Oh crap! Oh crap!
Ouch!
Bitch!
Busted!
We shall rewrite history!
Damn. Got me just as I hit him.
Or I will strike you down too!
He hit me just as I got him.
Your bluff's fooling no one! You've lost!
Lost? I can never lose. It is this body that has reached its limit, nothing more. Even if you defeat me here, the one who falls will not be me, but this man. He is but a puppet that can be replaced. I can take a new vessel at will.
Then we smash you to pieces. Klee, get some bombs.
The end result is the same! I will end this wretch's life before you can lift a finger! And even if I were to lose my physical form, it is but a small setback. My consciousness shall endure.
Alright, that's one problem we can't quite solve.
By any means necessary, and any medium available, I shall return and fulfill my destiny!
Your fighting style. It is indeed the forms of Ishin art. But from your movements, I sense only hatred and arrogance, as well as a thinly veiled mania and despair.
Really? You can tell all that just from his moves?
As I've mentioned before, the forms of Ishin art convey the user's thoughts and feelings. Since the blade is currently possessing Amenoma Yuya's body, its movements express the innermost thoughts of the blade. If you ask me, the mania is probably due to your desperate, single-minded ambition. You believe I am your only hope.
Are you trying to claim that I am helpless without you? On his deathbed, he passed to me all of Ishin Art's secrets. The little that you know barely scratches the surface. In that regard, why would I ever need your help?
Because all of that is in the past. I've been wondering why you've not caused more trouble in all the years that you've been in Inazuma. If you are indeed a cursed blade that can possess its owner.
Good point.
Now that I've seen inside your mind, everything finally makes sense. You weren't biding your time. You were trapped.
Ooh. Insightful.
After all the time that's passed, you have grown weak. To the point that you are now unable to acquire a new host without making physical contact.
Oh, that's right. Paimon remembers now. Mr. Nagato had a habit of never touching his collectibles.
I think I missed that detail.
Only when Mr. Nagato witnessed his wife's distress and decided to sell his collectibles did you finally have an opportunity to reach out to Aminoma Yuya and make your escape.
And what of it?
Well, that brings me to my second point. There's a despair in you that is so strong it threatens to overwhelm you. You were determined to fulfill your maker's ambition, whatever the cost. But this ambition is too grand and too heavy for you to bear. Each step you have taken has come at a great cost. I think you realized your limitations long ago. The more you clenched your teeth and pressed forward, the greater your fear of losing everything you had achieved grew, and the more you wished to run from the truth.
Man, he's really picking apart this sword.
But the way I see it, what began as an ambition has long since become a delusional fantasy.
What would you know about any of this? I'm just one step away from achieving my goal.
You returned to Inazuma to prove the unparalleled brilliance of Ishin art. But to make this arduous journey, you committed countless atrocities and showed a blatant disregard for human life. Even if you were to sever that divine light, is this truly the outcome that your maker would have desired?
You...
Sure, you inherited the secrets of Ishin art. But even as you made your journey to honor this legacy, you treated the ones who wielded you as mere tools to do your bidding. How could you possibly unleash the full potential of Ishin art when you act in perfect discordance with the principle of harmony between a blade and its bearer?
Silence, you blabbering fool!
He doesn't want to admit it.
I must achieve my goal. This was his life's dream, and the very purpose for which I was brought into being. I will concede that you are most perceptive. You see my predicament clearly. But you also underestimate my resolve.
And you should face reality.
Easy for you to say. Facing reality offers me nothing. I have no need of anything that would stand in my way. Not hesitation, not self-reflection, and certainly not your so-called reality.
What are you doing?
It is pointless to argue further, descendant of the Kaedahara clan. If you wish to save this man, then offer me your body in exchange.
How stubbornly you stick to your wayward path. I do not believe for a second that you can challenge the almighty Shogun in your current state. So let us make a bet, and I will put your strength to the test.
What? Surely you're not planning to agree to his demands.
Very well. Then find yourself some enemies with whom you wish to cross blades. A taste of my power will more than convince you. Once we have dealt with them, we shall proceed to Tenshukaku.
And as for your end of the bargain, if you lose, you must release Aminoma Yuya from your control.
I accept.
Don't do this, Kazuha!
This is a risky strategy.
This is the only way to save Ame no Yuya. If we don't do this, he'll forever be the Blade's puppet. The Cursed Blade's strength is currently very weak, and I sense he's hesitating. This suggests his heart is still not completely devoid of honor. The power of the Tatarigami lies in intensifying existing obsessions. This is the reason Mr. Nagato and Ame no Yuya fell prey to it. Since I don't have any similar kinds of obsessions, I should be able to put up some resistance for a while.
You sure about that, bud?
But even so...
Even if things take a turn for the worse, I still have you both here with me. We have a chance here to save an innocent victim. I am willing to accept the risks entailed.
It's not like I can stop you.
Your disdain for me betrays your woeful ignorance. I agreed to this bet because there are things I wish to learn too. Now, take me in your hand.
Oh, it's starting to get to him.
Kazuha?
I'm okay. I felt a little dizzy at first, but only for a moment. It's all right. So far, this was as I expected.
If something feels off, let me know immediately. Yeah. We can take a trip to Middle-earth and cast it into the fires of Mount Doom.
I will. Thank you.
What should we do next? Have you got a plan, Kazuha?
We find some enemies. Although this blade has endured much turmoil, it probably hasn't experienced many real fights. If a blade built for Ishin art cannot enter a state of harmony between blade and bearer, it cannot unleash its true power. If he wants to avoid reality, then we need to fight until he has no choice but to face it. He shouldn't last long in an intense combat situation.
Wait a minute! Paimon remembers hearing about something from the Adventurers Guild.
Such as...
Since the Takasukasa clan abandoned that secret base, it's been held by Ronin ever since.
Oh yeah, the one where we and Raiden showed up and had to take care of business.
Ah, all right. Please lead the way.
What about Ame no Yuya? What should we do with him?
The blade says he'll let Ame no Yuya trail us silently. Although he hasn't regained his own consciousness yet, he is not in any immediate danger.
Are we sure this is a good idea? It's a pretty treacherous journey. Okay, fine. Just be careful.
Go to the blade testing venue. Alright. I think I'm gonna call it here. It's been 3.5 hours. I think that's enough for me for one day. Oh. Before I forget. This may very well close the game, so... Okay, it did not. There we go. Okie dokie. Oh, god damn it. Close launcher. Alright, there we go. Okie dokie. Well, thank you everyone for stopping by. Hope you all had fun. I know I did. But yeah, thank you everyone for stopping by. Thank you to anyone watching the VOD. And thank you as always to lovely fortune tellers watching this before I stream. Okay, let's go raid someone, shall we? Rune is still going, I think, so we'll go say hi. Alright. Remember to take care of yourselves, hydrate, eat, rest up, and all that good stuff, and peace!